One word shut down entire NFL defenses for 3 straight seasons. Not a formation, not a play call, not a code anyone could crack. Just Omaha, a city in Nebraska, population 500,000, zero connection to football. Peyton Manning screamed it 44 times in a single playoff game. Analysts counted, fans made memes, defenders stood completely frozen. And nobody, not opponents, not commentators, not even most of Manning's own teammates, ever fully understood what it meant. Until now. Peyton Manning walked to the line of scrimmage differently than every other quarterback alive. He didn't just read the defense, he dismantled it before the ball moved, before a single player revealed a single thing. 5 MVP awards, 2 Super Bowls, the most unstoppable offensive mind the NFL had ever seen. And hiding inside all of it, inside 23 seasons of chess moves disguised as football plays, was one word. One single word that confused analysts for years, made defenders freeze at the line of scrimmage, and became the most searched phrase in NFL history. Omaha. It was not an accident, not a habit, not even really about the city. It was a weapon. And the answer to why Manning said it is more fascinating and more human than anything you expected. It started going viral in January 2014. AFC Divisional Playoff, Denver Broncos versus San Diego Chargers. Manning approached the line of scrimmage, moving, gesturing, pointing, and screaming Omaha over and over with the calm intensity of a man who knew exactly what he was doing. Sports journalists started counting. 44 times, one game. Twitter exploded overnight. What does Omaha mean? Trended nationally within hours. The mayor of Omaha, Nebraska, sent Manning a personal letter asking for an explanation. Businesses started selling Omaha t-shirts immediately. A steakhouse offered Manning free meals for life. The NFL itself started using the clip in promotional content. And Manning, cool, composed, calculated, just smiled. Because here is the thing about Peyton Manning that casual fans never fully understood. He never did anything by accident. Not one word, not one snap, not ever. So what was Omaha really? A decoy? A signal? A psychological weapon aimed directly at the defense? The answer is all three, and it goes deeper than anyone ever reported. Peyton Manning did not grow up wanting to be a football player. He grew up wanting to understand football completely. His father, Archie Manning, played quarterback in the NFL for 11 seasons. But what Archie gave Peyton wasn't just genetics or opportunity, it was obsession. By age 10, Peyton was drawing play diagrams at the dinner table. By high school, he was correcting his own coaches on the sideline. By college at Tennessee, he was essentially running the offense himself. When he entered the NFL in 1998, coaches didn't just notice a talented quarterback, they noticed something rare. A quarterback who had memorized every defense in the league before his first professional snap. Every tendency, every tell, every safety rotation on 3rd and short, every linebacker who cheated toward the run. Manning spent 60+ hours per week in film study, not watching, studying. Building a mental database so vast that by the time he reached the line of scrimmage, the play was already decided. But here's the problem that nobody ever solved before him. Knowing the right play means nothing if you cannot communicate it to 11 men in 2 seconds. With 70,000 people screaming and a defense designed specifically to confuse you. That is exactly where Omaha was born. And if this is already changing how you see Manning, subscribe. More stories like this every single week. In 2014, Manning finally told the world what Omaha actually meant. It was a reset word. When Manning read the defense and needed to change the play, he had 2 seconds maximum. 70,000 people screaming. 11 defenders disguising everything simultaneously. Impossible to communicate, unless you have one word that means everything at once. Omaha told every offensive player instantly. Ignore what you just heard. New play, new assignments. The real snap starts now. One word, complete system reboot. But here's the part that makes it genuinely brilliant, and what almost everyone missed. Omaha didn't always mean anything. Sometimes it was a real signal. Sometimes it was completely empty, designed purely to make the defense believe something was changing when absolutely nothing was. Manning wasn't just calling plays, where he was conducting psychological warfare at the line of scrimmage, making 11 defenders hesitate, second guess, and freeze, with a single word from a city in Nebraska that had absolutely nothing to do with football. And it worked for nearly 2 decades. Ask any defensive coordinator who faced Manning. They will all tell you the same thing. Stopping him was never a physical problem. It was a psychological one. Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, Darrell Revis, the greatest defensive minds of an entire generation, standing at the line of scrimmage, genuinely disoriented. Manning would look left, play goes right, go completely silent, then scream Omaha 3 times and reset everything. Stare directly at a safety, freezing him completely in place, while the real play developed somewhere else entirely. Defensive coordinators admitted spending more preparation time on what Manning said before the snap than what he actually did after it. Before the snap. That is where Manning won, not with his arm, not with his receivers, with a word, with a look, with silence. When Omaha was not just a reset signal, it was a force multiplier, turning Manning's football IQ into something no defensive unit in 2 decades could contain. But here is what nobody ever reported about Omaha, and it changes everything you just heard. When Manning was finally asked to explain Omaha completely, his answer was the most Manning thing he ever said. The specific word never mattered. It could have been Cincinnati. It could have been Tulsa. It could have been any word from any city on any map. The word was never the weapon. The fear of the word was. The moment opposing defenses started studying Omaha, building schemes around it, dedicating preparation time to it, losing sleep over it, Manning had already moved on. New signals, new resets, new psychological traps they had never seen before. He had made them chase a ghost. For nearly 2 decades, the greatest defensive minds in NFL history spent enormous energy trying to decode one word from a city in Nebraska. And while they were busy decoding, Manning was already 3 plays ahead of them. Well, not because of his arm, not because of his receivers, because of the one thing no defense ever found a way to prepare for. The play was already won before it started. It always was. That is what Omaha really meant. Peyton Manning retired as the NFL's all-time passing yards leader. Tom Brady eventually broke that record, but nobody, or not Brady, not anyone, ever replicated what Manning built at the line of scrimmage. Because you cannot replicate a mind. He turned football into a mental war. He made a city in Nebraska famous for something that had nothing to do with Nebraska. And he proved, for 23 seasons, that the most dangerous weapon in professional football was preparation. If this changed how you see Manning, leave one word below that describes what he actually was. Just one word. Subscribe for more NFL stories where one decision, one word, or one moment changes everything. The next one is already waiting.